Hello everyone. Yeah, so if you followed my channel so far, I'm basically dropping my mini tag. Since that, first off, it's sort of become the main content on my channel anyway, but also it's basically become as sourced as my regular videos, whatever the fuck that means at this point. So yeah, anyway, let's get right into the subject of the video. That's what you could hear for anyway. So once again, if you're uncomfortable with suicidality and stuff like that, you'd better fuck right off for your own good, because I say suicide in other variants of it a whopping total of 19 times in this video. There's clearly a reason why. I'm mainly gonna talk about the statistics on the subject, but I also tried to talk about the more practical issue near the end. Because I think you can't just talk about suicide like that as if nothing was wrong about people ending their fucking life. So, I think we're all pretty much familiar with the 40% statistic in the transgender community, especially because it's targeted against us, and it's usually used to argue that transidentity is somehow a mental illness, and as if it were something to be ashamed of anyway. We're psychophobic here, but okay. What does 40% actually mean, though? Well, it actually stands for the percentage of transgender people who attempted to kill themselves at least once in their lifetime. So you're telling me that you're putting in the same category people who try to kill themselves regularly, often, like maybe once a week or something like that, with people who did that once or a few times in their childhood and are now okay, and or at least don't even try anymore, maybe because of some other issue, I don't know, but okay. It's so different. You can already see that this measure is pretty fucking bogus and doesn't tell really anything. Moreover, this statistic actually drops down to 3% when we only include transgender people who attempted to kill themselves after transition. So already, like, the idea that this is somehow mental illness is pretty fucking out at this point. Now let's reduce all of this to an about 12-month period, just so that it's more comparable with other related statistics. In 2015, a study conducted by Bauer et al. Sourced that about 10% of transgender individuals attempted suicide within the previous year. We can actually compare it to other demographics, notably teens in grades 9 through 12. Indeed, in this demographic, it was shown that there is an about 8% suicide attempt rate in that same time span. In terms of actual suicide, it's pretty complicated to count the number of actual transgender suicide rates, since transidentity is not disclosed on death certificates. We could assume, however, that it's similar to the 9th to 12th grade demographic, which is usually represented by the 15 to 19 years old demographic, by the way. Even though they make up about 9.7% of the trans community. So in that case, we find out an about 10 per 100,000 suicide rates in that same year, which gives us a survival rate of about 99.875% for suicide attempts, or at least in the 15 to 19 years old demographic. Still, it should give us a good order of magnitude for trans falls. If we reverse engineer a little bit and apply that to the 10% statistic, we get a suicide rate of about 12.5 per 100,000 in the transgender community. Tragically enough, cisgender men, on the other hand, had an about 21.1 per 100,000 suicide rates in that same time span. And like other statistics, it globally increases, and this more and more drastically each year. This is almost double the transgender people suicide rates, so unless you want to call male cis identity a mental illness, just so you offend literally everyone on earth at this point, you better revise your way of analyzing these statistics. This is an ever-increasing problem nowadays, unfortunately, especially with these lockdown times, degrading your mental health even further than before through heavy isolation mixed with the ever-worsening alienation that this late-stage capitalist society makes us endure every day. At this point, it's gotten so far that it affects people that you wouldn't have suspected to be able to even be affected in any capacity by this in the first place. So to anyone watching this video who would contemplate suicide in any capacity, I hope I can have made it clear that, like, throughout the whole video, that you're not alone. Like, not even a fucking bit, so that's already that. But yeah, the problem is that I'm really shit at trying to help people who have to deal with this kind of issues. So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna leave it there. I can only hope that you all get all the support that you need, but I don't want to go too deep in this kind of stuff, since I'm really shit at talking about this without sounding like a fucking jerk trying to manipulate people who have these issues. Like, it's probably just my anxiety, but when I read what I'm writing about this kind of stuff, it just feels like it. So it's mainly a subject that I try to avoid, trying to solve in any capacity, quote unquote solve, obviously. I heard about stuff like It Gets Better or the Trevor Project. They're apparently really cool associations and stuff. So hopefully you can at least get a bit of help there. But yeah, the problem is that I don't live in an English speaking country. So I can't help with places you could go to get help. If you're in the UK, the US, even in my fucking country, I don't even know where you could go. So I can't help but think it would have been a bit irresponsible if I didn't even try to give resources to help people who have this kind of issues. So yeah, I don't know how to end this video, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But yeah, see y'all next time, cameras.